I'm almost there.
I haven't experienced anything else in life that feels like this. Traditional arts help us reach beyond where we could have dreamed. The intricate cutting of paper and learning the art and history is a relief from life's stressors. The redefining of our journeys bolsters self-esteem and dignity for those of us suffering from chronic illness. Traditional arts give us comfort and dignity. Traditional arts inform us as we yearn to connect with our heritage. My grandmother came from Poland to the United States as a teenager around 1915. I lived with her, and she didn't talk much about her home in Poland. I didn't know about Wycinanki until a festival years ago, but the lady who knew how to do it refused to show me how she did it. So I was happy when Kathy said she would show us how. This picture is my first, and it's not perfect. Someday it will be better. Traditional arts guide us as we long for belonging in our larger community. Leg rattles are worn to keep beat with the drum during dance. The drum beat is not just a drum, but as part of the song, it's also the heartbeat of our people. Our elders talk that it's the heartbeat of all people. Regardless of the color of our skin, at some point all of us are healing around the drum. So sometimes people are dancing for themselves or for loved ones who may have a sickness, or problems within the family, or tribal problems. Traditional arts help us reach a part of ourselves hidden within the past. At age 8, I remember my Bubba and my mom by the coal stove, concentrating on their eggs, working from a simple handmade tool and melted beeswax in a small metal can. I was mesmerized by their quick, rhythmic strokes. I watched and listened to my Bubba's words, spoken in her native tongue of Carpathian Rougeon. My turn arrived the following year when I was finally tall enough to stand by the stove and dip into the wax safely. Little did I know, 40 to 50 years from the first time I grasped a kitska, the little child inside me would still be involved in showing and teaching the folk art so near and dear to my heart. Traditional arts help us reach our most meaningful future. My apprenticeship grant experience was life-changing. Not only did it give me the opportunity to study with a master teacher to learn how to make traditional Slovenian bob and lace, but it also allowed me to meet and become close to my family in Slovenia, who introduced me to this tradition when I was just a child. It was the gifts of lace sent to my family and a visit from my dad's cousin that sparked a desire in me to learn. My training with a European teacher also opened up a new career, with me teaching locally and internationally. And as the only American teacher of Slovenian bob and lace, I am very proud to be sharing this tradition, a family tradition, with North American lace makers. Traditional arts give us our identity. My grandfather was the foreman of the mold shop for McKee Glass, later becoming Thatcher Glass. My father followed in his footsteps. It soon became Jeanette Glass Company. I, because of their dedication to the craft, was privileged to grow up with both metal and wood shops in our basement. At a young age, being permitted to use the equipment, I developed the ability to visualize and produce in 3D. Melting down car fenders and casting soldiers out of the pot metal is one of my earliest memories of the possibilities. When my buddies and I would run out of necessary foot soldiers for play, I would head back up to the shop and make more. During the Bobby Fischer Spassky tournaments, I was able to carve and sell enough chess sets to buy my first pickup truck. Having spent a lifetime building a space in the woods to raise 2 boys, my wife and I still walk the paths eyeing trees for possible rendering with the saw. To continue the legacy of my forefathers, to produce sculpture which stands on its own as a statement of the tree is in itself a statement of what has gone before me. Traditional arts in this region are closing the gap between generations, and closing the gap between our communities across the world. At Bottleworks, we have found that nothing heightens the awareness of heritage more than the pleasure of experiencing its foodways. A survey taken some 20 years ago shows 23 different ethnic groups in the region. One by one, we sought them out, finding individuals who still use traditional ingredients. We asked if they would be willing to replicate a typical, let's say, Serbian dinner for an adventurous and paying audience. Now comes the point of pride. Of course, people love to show off their heritage. Plus, they are quite accustomed to cooking for several dozen people. Some needed help or brushing up to carry out the task. An aunt or a mother is recruited, and voila, another beautiful ethnic dinner is born and presented. This causes our chefs and our visitors to think about their heritage in a personal way, with more people wanting to be the one to prepare their food next. The ethnic dinners, or soirees, nourish the spirit as well as the body. It is a delicious win-win. While breaking bread, storytelling commences, cultures are shared, and connections grow. This is who we are, because of our region's folk arts.